All right, so another video series for yoga asanas and pranayama technique during your period cycle. This particular video series focuses on the asanas that you can do during ovulation. We're going to start from Warrior 2, so I suggest you do some warm-up exercises. I have a warm-up video linked here so that you can follow along and come into the Warrior 2 pose, and then we will carry on with the asanas. Also, if you have two blocks, please have that handy. If not, any kind of hardcover books or blanket or pillows would be great. All right, so let us start at the front of our mat in Tadasana, and just take a deep breath in and out, and bring your hands to heart in prayer position. Now go ahead and step your right foot back 3/4 of a leg length. Make your back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, and your front heel should be in line with the back instep of your back foot. All right, now extend your arms out and bend your front knee. All right, now make sure this is a hip opener, so make sure the hip points are lifted and you are parallel to the long edge of the mat. All right, now relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and look in front through your fingertips. Go ahead and bend a little further in your front knee if you can. Hold this pose for 2 or 3 breaths, breathing in and out through your nose. All right, now from here, go ahead and bring your forearm on your thigh just above your knee and sweep your arm down and up over your right ear. Now, if you can, look up to your right bicep. This is extended side angle, really good for your pelvic health. Now, slowly, with control, sweep your arm down and out and come back to Warrior 2. All right, now, go ahead and straighten your front knee and cut your hips back and reach forward until you can't reach anymore, and release your left arm down and bring your right arm up. Now you can place your right hand onto your shin, your ankles, your mat, or you could even take a block and place it on top of the block. All right, now this is the triangle pose. So here we want to make sure that our top hip is away from the chest. All right, and we can go ahead and look up. This is again very great for your pelvic floor. Now slowly bend your knee here, and just for a second come back to Warrior 2. Now your back foot here, go ahead and extend it outwards. So basically your feet are going to be, both your feet are going to be outwards, diagonally outwards, and there's going to be about 3 feet of a distance apart. If it's too much, shorten the distance, but not too much. All right, now bend your knees here, lower into a squat, and go ahead and lift your arms. So when you lift your arms here, make sure that your upper arms are parallel to the mat and your forearms are vertical and your hands are facing forward. Spread your fingers and squat. All right, you're in goddess pose. This is really, really great for women at all times. This is a pose that is recommended for you to do on a daily basis. Really great for your hips, really great for anyone with menstruation issues, irregular periods, PCOS. This is really, really good. Now, if this is too intense, an option is to keep your hands on your hips. All right, beautiful. Now, slowly straighten your legs here, and we're gonna turn to the left side and complete the same flow, on our right side here. So now go ahead and turn your left foot in, making it parallel to the short edge of the mat, and your right foot out, making it parallel to the long edge of the mat. Same thing, we want to make sure there's 3/4 of a leg length. The back instep is in line with the front heel here, and go ahead and bend in your new front knee. So in this case, it is your right knee. Extend your arms out and gaze through the front fingertips here. Again, relax your jaw, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, and make sure your hips are parallel to the long edge of the mat here. Beautiful. Hold your pose here for a few breaths, in and out. Now, go ahead and place your right forearm just above your knee on your thighs and sweep your arm down and up over your left ear. Now look up. Beautiful. Come back, sweep it down, come back to warrior two. Now straighten your right leg here. Now cut your hips back and reach forward until you can't reach anymore, and release your arm down. Your right arm down, your left arm goes up here. Again, your top hip needs to go away from your chest and look up if you can. Beautiful. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now bend into your right knee and just for a second or two come into warrior two. Now we're gonna get into our goddess pose again. So bring your back foot, so straighten your knee here. Now bring your back foot outwards again. So both our feet are diagonally outwards, all right? So this is basically the pose we wanna get into. So make sure there's almost a 3 feet apart distance between the feet, all right? Inhale, lift your arms up, and as you exhale, lower into a squat. Now again, your upper arms need to be parallel to the mat, forearms vertical, and your hands are facing forward. Spread your fingers and lower into a squat as much as you can. Make sure you draw your knees back so that your knees are aligned with the ankles and they're not going past the ankles. Again, if this is too much, we can go ahead and we can place our hands on our hips. Beautiful. All right, slowly straighten your legs here. You can bring your arms on your hands on your hips. Now go ahead and turn your feet inwards, more so like your toes are in and your heels are out, all right? And go as wide as you can here, all right? We're gonna cool down our system, all right? We're gonna cool down our hips. We're gonna do a wide-legged forward fold, okay? So inhale and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, with a flat back, come halfway down, all right? Now inhale, lengthen your spine and go all the way down. Release your hands onto the mat underneath your shoulders. Oh, beautiful, beautiful stretch. This is a great cooling pose. Now, if this is all that you can do, stay here for a few breaths. If not, then rotate your hands here and walk your hands towards the long edge of the mat for a deeper stretch here. And go ahead and take an inhale and exhale through the mouth. All right, now if you are in a deeper stretch, rotate your hands back and walk them again where they're directly underneath your shoulders. Now, keep a micro bend in your knees. That's very important. We don't want to strain our knees. Keep a micro bend in your knees. Bring your hands on your hips and with a flat back, come all the way up. And we heel toe, come back to standing or Tadasana. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a balancing pose, which is a tree pose. So let us do Vrikshasana. So for Vrikshasana, make sure you are in Tadasana and you're looking at a focal point in front of you which is not moving, all right? Now, a focal point which is not moving, so stand here in Tadasana and you can go ahead and bring your hands to heart in prayer position. Now shift your weight to the left leg here, to your left foot, all right? We've shifted our weight here. Now bend your right knee and place the soles of your feet. There are 3 points where you can place the sole of the right foot. Either in a kickstand, all right, on your shin, or bring it all the way up to your inner thighs, okay? And you're opening your right hip here, okay? It cannot be on your knees here. So for me, I'm gonna go on the shin, all right? So let's do this again. So shift your weight to the left, all right? Bend your knee and open your right hip and bring the sole of your right foot on your shin, or if you can take it up to your left, inner thigh, go ahead and do that. Or if you're comfortable with kickstand to get that that balance, that's great. All right. Do not lock your standing leg, your standing knee, and your hip needs to be squared. So it needs to be parallel to the top of the mat. All right. Now you can keep your hands on your hips here in the prayer position, or you can grow your branches. All right. If you fall like I'm falling, it is completely fine. All right. Just shake it off here and again, come back into that pose. Now I want you to imagine that, have a picture of a tree in front of you, which is strong, which is deeply rooted. You know, there's hailstorms, there is winds blowing it away, but it maintains its roots, all right? And that is who you are, all right? Now slowly release your leg down and shake it off. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm also losing the balance, but we are in this together. So let's do this together, all right? Now, let's do it on the other side. Let's go ahead and shift our weight to the right leg here, the right foot, all right? Bring your hands to heart. I like to bring my hands to heart in prayer position. It just centers me. Look at a focal point in front of you that is not moving. Bend, and you'll always have one of the legs which are more balanced than the other. For me, probably is the right leg, but we'll go ahead and see that. So bring your hands to heart in prayer position. Shift your weight to the right leg. Bend your left knee and place the sole of your left foot. In my case, I'm placing it on my shin. And open your left hip here. Make sure the hip points are squared, so they're parallel to the front of the front mat. Sorry. Now, on the hips, hands on the hips is fine. Hands in a prayer position or growing your branches. Right? Like I said, for me, the right leg is more stable than my left leg. So go ahead, strong and rooted like a tree, growing its branches. Now, slowly bring your hands on your hips and turn your right leg in, release it, and bring it down and shake off your feet. Beautiful. All right, so after the tree pose, just shake your feet off, and we're gonna get into Malasana, all right? Malasana, it is directly translated as the garland pose because mala means garland, asan means pose, but that is not what it is. It's really the mal, which is the dirt, which is in your digestive system, and this pose really helps in clearing out any of the dirt in your digestive system, helping with constipation, but it is the king of hip opener. So if you are someone who is a yoga beginner or someone who doesn't practice yoga regularly or just in general has tight hips, you are like me, you are going to need blocks. So I would need 2 blocks, but if you don't have blocks, again, get hardcover books or a bunch of blankets, because we would need that support when we get into Malasana. This is also really good for your pelvic health. It really, like I said, it's a king of hip opener, so very, very good for women to practice. So right after our tree pose, now go ahead and in Tadasana, let's bring our feet slightly wider than our hip width, hip width apart. You might have to change the stance depending on, just how you feel, all right? So for starters, bring your feet a little wider than hip width apart and turn your toes outwards, all right? Now, go ahead and inhale and go ahead and lower into a squat all the way. Now, as you're coming down, adjust your stance here by just swaying here, right and down, and you can left and right, and you can bring your hands on your mat here, all right? So as you can see, now what you basically have to do is you have to place your arms inside of your inner thighs and bring your hands together. Now you don't want to be curving your spine. You want to place them like this, all right? Now there might be an instance where your heels might come up, and that is totally fine, all right? Now if this is too much, this is where the blocks would come into handy. So maybe place one block here to help support. If you need more support than that, bring up 2 blocks and just rest here, right? And you can readjust your stance. Basically, this is what you're getting. So do you see how now this really helps? So I'm someone, I have tight hips. I haven't, really advanced in this pose, but this is really, really good for one's hips. So go ahead and prop yourself on either the books or the blocks and place your hands between the inner thighs. And again, your spine should be straight. It shouldn't be curved. So keep it straight and just stay here for a few breaths. Again, it really helps stretch the stomach muscles, massages it, really helps with clearing out any digestive issues you have. And again, the king of hip opener. And slowly, slowly with daily practice, remove one block at a time until you are really able to get into the Malasana without any help of props. All right, now slowly bring your hands on the mat and remove any blocks. And go ahead and bring your feet together and just come into a quick forward fold. Inhale, hands overhead and up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart. Come to Tadasana. All right, so let us meet on our mat here. You need a blanket or a towel for extra cushion. Place it under your knees here. And you might need 2 blocks. So go ahead and place your blanket under your knees and come up on your knees here. Now, you have the option of keeping your feet flat or tuck in your toes, all right? Now, go ahead and place your blocks if you need them. I know I would need them outside of your heels, all right? You can keep them vertical, you can adjust the height. So let's go ahead and put it outside our heels here, okay? And you're on your knees and bring one hand on your belly and the other on your chest, all right? Now, as you inhale, lift your chest, exhale, tone your belly. Again, inhale, lift your chest, tone your belly, all right? Now, keeping your chest lifted and your belly toned, go ahead and place your hands on your lower back here, all right? You wanna support your lower back. Now, inhale and lengthen. And as you exhale, lean back, okay, as much as you can. Now, if this is the extent of the pose that you can go, by all means, stay here, okay? If not, go ahead and reach with your hands for your blocks, either for your blocks, keeping your chest pushed, your hips forward and your chest lifted. Reach for your blocks, your shins, your ankles. Now, slowly bring your hands back on your lower back and tuck in your chin and bring both your shoulders up at the same time. And slowly, with control, come back, sitting on your heels. This is an intense pose. If you are someone who has high blood pressure, you can go ahead and avoid this pose. If you feel a little dizzy, please, with control, come back and just either sit on your heels or go ahead and take a child's pose, all right? We're gonna get into our last back bend. This was one back bend. The next one we're gonna go is into a bridge pose. So now go ahead and lie on your back here. you won't need any blocks or blankets. In this case, I feel. So go ahead and let us meet on our backs. Oh, this feels good. All right, now bring your arms on your side, and let me just quickly adjust my hair here so that my bun doesn't affect my hair. I hope the mic is okay. I'll just keep the mic on my side. All right, so your arms are by your side and bend your knees hip width apart. All right, and bring your heels as close to your hips as much as possible. And with your arms by your side, palms facing down. First of all, let's just take a quick breath in and out through our nose. All right, inhale, and as you exhale, lift your chest up as high as you can. And if this is the extent you can be, this is great. If not, roll your shoulders back and place your hands underneath your hips here. Clasp your fingers and push them towards your feet. And here, make sure that there is a space between your chin and your chest. So create that space between your chin and your chest and keep lifting up. All right? Stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths. Slowly, if you have your hands clasped underneath you, unclasp your hands and slowly with control, bring your hips all the way down. Now, bring your soles of your feet together and let your hips and let your knees fall out. Coming into a reclined bound angle. Trying to really cool off all the strain in our lower back, in our hips. Again, if your knees don't fall all the way down, maybe just increase the stance between your feet and your pelvis. And I guess I lied, you might need to put 2 blocks underneath your knees if your hips are too tight, and just to avoid any strain to your pelvic muscles. This feels really, really great. Now you can stay here or bring your knees together and give yourself a great hug. Bring your knees to your chest. Go side to side if you want. You can rock from side to side. All right. And we are towards the end of our practice. Let us prepare for Shavasana. And here what we're going to do is, again, extend our legs out. Maybe make it mat width apart. Bring our hands away from our torso. Our arms away from our torso. Palms facing up. Roll back your shoulders. Make any minor adjustments that you want. Let your feet fall out however it may want to. If there's a lot of strain on your lower back, go ahead and place a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees just to kind of keep it lifted and avoid that strain. Close your eyes and surrender. We'll meet back in seated position after 10 minutes. All right. Slowly come back to your breath, come back to your senses. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe tilt your head from side to side. Bring your feet together and your knees to your chest. Give yourself a great hug. And let us roll to our right side, coming into a fetal position. Now, extend your top leg and press into your left arm and prop up the left hand and prop up and come to a seated position. We're going to end our practice in alternate nostril breathing, also known as Nadi Shodh pranayama. If you can, keep your eyes closed or maintain a soft gaze in front of you. This type of breathing is not recommended for anyone with high blood pressure. So for that purpose, if you have high blood pressure, just go ahead and seat it with your hands on your knees and palms facing up. Again, close your eyes or keep a soft gaze and just breathe in and out through your nose for about 5 rounds. So for those who want to practice alternate nostril breathing or Nadi Shodh pranayama, go ahead and sit in an upright position with a length in your spine. You can sit at the edge of a folded blanket, folded towel, or a bolster, and sit in an easy cross-legged position. Now, keep your left hand on your knee or your thigh, on your left knee or your thigh, palms facing up. All right, so you have for your right hand, we have 2 options, okay? Option number 1 is we tuck in our index and our middle finger and keep our ring finger and our little finger together and like this, all right? And we go ahead with our placements of our fingers. If this is too much, just go ahead and place your index finger and your ring finger slightly, just place it on your nose here, and then we go ahead with our placement of our other fingers, okay? So whichever works perfectly for you, okay? So go ahead and get your mudras the way you want to. In my case, I'm gonna tuck in my index finger and my middle finger and place it here right in front of your nose, all right? Now, with your right thumb, go ahead and close your right nostril. And first of all, exhale completely through your left nostril. Now, inhale through your left nostril. And take your right finger and close your left nostril and release your thumb and exhale out through your right nostril completely. Now inhale through your right, close with your thumb and exhale through your left. Repeat this for 5 rounds. And end your last round with exhaling completely from your left. Slowly release your hand and place it on your knee or your thighs. Palms facing up. We're receiving. Keep your eyes closed. And breathe in and out through your nose. Just notice your breath. At any point, if you feel lightheaded, please go ahead and take Shavasana just for a few minutes. If not, just keep your eyes closed and notice your breath. All right, now let's bring our hands together and rub our hands so there's a little bit of warmth. And once you've generated that little bit of heat, go ahead and place the palms on your eyes and press it lightly. Let's do this 2 more times. Beautiful. Open your eyes, bring your hands together in prayer position. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of guiding you in this practice. Please save this video for whenever you need it. This is a great practice which really focuses on your pelvic health, on your hip opener poses. The Nadi Shodh pranayama can be started. You can start with the Nadi Shodh pranayama, alternate nostril breathing, or you can also end with it. Again, at any point, if you feel lightheaded, please go ahead and take Shavasana or Balasana with it, which is the child's pose. I hope you found this video really helpful. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel, HomeYogi. We will see you next week on the mat. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Dhanyawad.